Right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are live from Brighton in a rather peculiar way. We have the final of the London Tournament Players Championship, which was held in December after 12 rounds of play and a very late Sunday night. We only got as far as the semi-final. So the two finalists, David Brown and Anna Price, have agreed to play here just before we kick off the Breezy Brighton. And joining me this afternoon, we've got Jeff Hall, who is going to talk you through the action. So I don't know if you want to give any quick background about the players. They're both reasonably well known.
Well, obviously, I've played Anna a few practice matches. Anna's focusing a lot on her, particularly on her cube play, which has really seen an improvement over the last few months. And so I'm expecting a strong performance by Anna. It'd be interesting to see how she performs with her cube. David, I know I've played David once in London. I know he's a strong player. He is capable of producing some really good PRs and performances. So I expect the match is going to be a close one to call. And it will be interesting to see how they progress through this match. I know that Anna's the type who won't give up regardless of the score. So you're always going to see 100% commitment from Anna. And David, I'm sure, will be trying to put as much pressure on her as he can. And I'm looking forward to commentating, Julia.
Great. So the players are just about ready. David is sitting at the bottom playing the white check. Anna's sitting at the top playing black. So I shall go and let them know they can get started.
Great. Thanks, Julia. Welcome, everybody. For those who are watching, I'm not sure if I can see the chat because I'm not on the YouTube link. So apologies if I can't respond to any of you that do put anything in the chat. But it looks as though the match is about to start, 9-point match. And I'm looking forward to seeing how they both perform. Obviously, I haven't got XG, so I will do my best to attempt to give the best advice that I can give, but obviously I'm prone to errors like everybody. So it'll be interesting to see how complex the games get, and hopefully I can give some advice on how it's going to pan out. So players have shaken hands. This looks like Anna's board, if I'm working from memory. Okay, I'm going to have something because that looks like a 4-3. So that's one way of playing it, or you can split to the 21 and come down to the 9, or you can bring 2 checkers down. It's one of those that's got a lot of options. Great opening double 3 by Anna. And David makes the 10-point. Okay, it looks like 5-4. So 5 will make the 8-point. And the question is then whether to bring another checker down or split. I quite like the split. I coming down, just bring an extra builder. Splitting does give you some flexibility, although David has got 10 checkers there waiting to pounce on any opportunity he gets. 6-3 by the look of it. The bar point is going to leave a shot. So he's going to have to give this some thought. He's decided to run out and hit. Okay. Anna's looking for a 5 and rolls worst number when you've been hit on a 1-point board, which is 6. That gives David a breather and tidies up nicely, makes the 5-point. Anna needs to come in ready, preferably with a 2. And that looks like just checking to see if that's flat. They've decided it's not. Again, Anna will try and roll and hope that she can roll a 2 with her entering number. Obviously 6-2 and 5-2 is not going to hit that one checker. 5-3, that hits David's checker on the 8th point. So David needs to come in really, otherwise Anna will have a decision here with a dance. But that's a great entering number. That makes the 21 point. So he's well in the game now. So Anna won't be anywhere near a cube for a while now. Looks like a 5-3. Okay, so 5-3. I think just playing down to the 9 point. It's not really a great deal that you can do with that. It does leave 5s, but it's not a big issue. He'd have to leave his anchor to hit. So David has rolled what looks like a 3-2. So he's going to contemplate whether to hit or not, but I don't think it's a wise choice. Anna's got a stronger board, wants to keep his anchor for now. And 5-1 isn't going to do a great deal. This date is up. Okay. It's not a big issue. Looking at other options, it's good to do that. Just make sure that you haven't overlooked something. Anna really wants to get that back checker away from that 24 point, and doesn't really seem to be an opportunity to do it this roll. So elects on just tidying up the checkers. David will be trying to put as much blocking in as he can. That looks like a 3-1. I think 6-5 looks like a natural 1. And then you can make a decision on what the 3 is going to be. How big do you want to play it? He's going to slot. Okay. It's giving a direct shot to Anna, who needs a 2 now, and rolls it. And the 3 will just come into the 5 point. And now David really, again, needs to come in and again rolls a 4-3. Okay. Not sure if Anna is considering a cube here. She's just looking at maybe doing a mental pit count and just seeing what the race is. She's a long way ahead. Next to come out because David's got a blotting board, so I think that's good play. And David does roll one of the numbers that does hit and cover. So this game is sort of swinging to and fro at the moment. That's a dance from Anna. David's sort of looking, there's no opportunity for a cube at this point. He's got 3 checkers back on the 21. Rolls a 3-2. So that can make the bar. And then the 2 would be, I think you could play it slightly bigger and play from 11 to 9. And that gives you 2 checkers pointing at the 4 point, which is what he's done. Obviously, it does give Anna 4-5 and 4-6 to hit. She does roll a 4, but rolls what looks like a 2 with it. So she's got to decide whether to come in on the 23 point or the 21 point. They both got equal boards now. Apparently, I've been told there's a full screen button somewhere, which is quite useful. I think I might be on it actually, and this is as big as I've got. This is on my laptop, which is why I'm struggling to see the dice a little bit. But I do see the controls as well, so I'm not sure if Julia will tell me that I'm seeing too much if I'm seeing the volume controls along with the board. Okay, this is a good play. Anna didn't want to be back on the 23 points, so although she is prone to being hit on that 21 point, it does give her an opportunity to try and escape, and obviously now needs to perform with something, and does. Okay, David's just going to come out. Oh, Anna, very quick to double that. Obviously the race is big. She's got, and David's very quick to take it. Too quick for me to count. 76, 9100. It's about 121, I think, to Arnold, and a lot more to David. So certainly on the race side, but David with that anchor is never going to feel that he can lose a gammon very easily. So I think it was a comfortable take for David. But like I said, Anna's been practicing being very aggressive with the cue, and she'd rather be more over aggressive than sit back and miss a lot. So I don't. I like the way that Anna's handling her cue play. Okay, 3-1 to David. Could slot the 4 and just come in 7-6. You could also step up to the 24 because it comes a point where you run out of timing otherwise. So he's elected to do that. It does allow Anna to slot behind now. That's the downside of leaving your 24 point, is that Anna could just play behind now. And something like 4-1 is a good example where she can just pop her checkers back. I wouldn't break these 7 or 8, so I think just 6-1 is perfectly good. Oh, it was 4-2. Okay, that's fine. Leave an extra checker on the 6 points if you can. So David with a double 3 slots the 4. Could elect to make the 4 because the 1's duplicated to hit and cover, and it does give us a 4-point board. Yeah, I think that's good play. Obviously, Anna will hit with double 1 or double 4, or 1-4 rather. Looks like it might be a 5-4. Yeah, 5-4. So Anna just playing it in. That's good. The question will be now: will David elect to keep that checker on the midpoint there, that single checker, to try and be a nuisance? Don't think he's got the option. He'll just make a 5-point board. And now Anna needs to clear that midpoint, preferably without leaving a shot, but that's going to be very difficult to do. And that looks like a 4-1, so just playing to the midpoint, or 4-5, just playing down from the midpoint, leaving a 9. And that's not it. Okay, just a case of bringing this one in. There are a couple of bad numbers. I won't say them because it could curse Anna, and that's not enough to clear it and keep it safe. So it's going to have to stay either on the midpoint or come down to the 12 point. So if you leave it where it is, it can be hit with 6-3 and 5-4 and double 3. So that's 5 shots. Okay, so that's what David's looking for. Okay. So that's nice. That's saved just the checker on the mid. Now it's a case of just clearing the 8 point, which is just 4 away from David's anchor. And with 4 men back, or 4 checkers back rather, David will be looking to keeping an eye on the gammon side of things. So he'll be keen to get some of his back checkers moving around here now to avoid any chance of a gammon. So that's 1 out. Okay, 6-1 is not good. 5-1 is awkward. Double 6 is perfect. And that really does help Anna's gammon chances. Okay. Looking for a 1, 2, or 3 on your dice, and there it is. And now just 6 numbers now that will leave a shot for David to have a go at. No, has to stay there for another go. 3-2. Just brings it along. Okay, Anna with 9 checkers. 6, 8, 9. Oh, that's the. Okay, David really needs to get moving now. That brings one in as well, and then brings the other one out, I guess. He's going to need at least one other double, high double, to have a chance of saving. Gosh, and Anna's rolled another double, and that is it. Too many crossovers. So well done to Anna, picks up a 4-0 lead. And I was really impressed with Anna, that cube. I mean, I don't know if people are putting any of this into XG or that, but normally when your opponent's got an anchor, you like to get your back men or your back checker safer before you cube. And but with such a big race lead, I think that was a really good double by Anna, and it paid off. So 4-0 or 5 away, 9 away. Like double one, so typically you would split 24 to 22 here. That's what he's done. And 6-1 just makes the bar point. Bit of structure for Anna. David looks like a 6-5, just brings his checker to the 11 point. It's a good place for it. And 3-2 is excellent because that gives Anna the 21-point anchor. And again, good roll, makes the 9 point. Got a broken 4 prime now in front of the anchor that Anna's got. 5-4 is awkward. You can slot the 4 point. You tend to want to slot a point that you want to try and make. The least number of shots is 2. Well, I was going to say that, but that actually gives 5-4 as well as any one. So that's 13 shots. It also gives 3-6. There's 15 shots if you play that. Whereas if you slot and give a 3, then you are actually giving one less shot. You're only giving 14 shots. And you've only got one block the other way. So I think I like the slot. The absolute least number of shots is to put your checker on the 2 point, 6-2, but you don't really want to make the 2 point. So I think this looks a good play. David's quick to double. I think with the anchor, it's even at the score, I think Anna has a comfortable take here. You're not on the bar. David hasn't hit you yet. So I think that Anna will think about this for a while and then take. Obviously, things can go wrong if she gets hit. She hasn't only got a 1 point board, so she hasn't got much structure, but she has got the bar point. So good double by David, putting Anna under pressure. But I think Anna will find the take here, but she could give it up with the lead that she has and decide to just to let the 1 point go and wait for a better opportunity. We'll see. Okay, Anna does take it. David's looking for a 3. And rolls double 4. So Anna's looking for a 4 to hit, but also needs a 4 to cover. 6-1. Oh no, it's not 6-1. I'm sorry, I'm really struggling with the dice here. Okay, 5-4 only gives a indirect shot for Anna. So she needs 4-3 or 6-1. And that looks like 6-4. A little bit awkward. I mean, you can make the 2 point and slot the 3. You really want to make your points in order if you can, but sometimes the dice won't allow you to do that. So okay. And double 5 is going to clear the mid, bring it in, and David's looking very comfortable now that he's managed to do that. Okay, I think I would have slotted the 5, but I don't think it makes a big difference. 4-2 for David, so clear from the rear. Would have been a 4-3 actually. So Anna's only major hope here is that David has trouble clearing those checkers on the 9 point, which are 5 away from her anchor. But we will see. That looks like a 5 isn't great, because 5 is the number that is blocked by Anna's anchor. Okay, makes the board, comes in, yeah, looking good. There is a little bit of racing equity as well for Anna, because if she rolls a big double, then she's certainly in the race. And that's a 6-1. So I think just 7-6. Yeah. And David is looking to clear at least one of those. And 5-1 wouldn't do it. So the anchor is proving to be a little bit troublesome. Okay, that must be a 6-4. And so Anna's going to look at the race 40, 58, 66, 72, 74. It looks like 84 Anna and 34, 56, 76, 86 for David. So Anna's actually slightly ahead. So I think this is good play. I mean, it comes with the risk. David has got a blotting board. The thing is, if you play the 6-4 anywhere else, then you're putting everything on your 2 point, and you're stuck there. This way, David does. You've got a 5 point board at the end of the day. So unless David couldn't hit and cover, he's going to be reluctant to hit. And 6-2 is a good number for the race, and I think that puts him 2 pips up. But Anna will definitely run out now if she gets the opportunity. Unfortunately, 2-1 is poor. And now David with any 5-1, 5-2, 1-1, 2-2. And there's the closeout. That was very unfortunate. If Anna didn't roll that 2-1 and escape that back checker, then she was definitely in on the race. As it is now, David is comfortably, he's going to be taking at least 2 or 3 checkers off before Anna gets the opportunity to come in. Okay, comes in, and we'll pretty sure we'll comfortably save any thoughts of a gammon, but probably the race is too far out of her reach now. So if it all goes to how I expect, it will be 4-2, or it will be 5 away, 7 away. Nana will still have a nice lead in the match. Okay, and that wraps it up. 5 away, 7 away. Okay, off we go. 6-3, splitting down, usual. Double six, which is a great response. Make both bar points. And 4-1, I think that is. Okay. Duplicates the threes needed to hit on either the 5-point or the 10-point. Okay, 4-3. Yeah, you could do it. You can double hit here. You are quite a bit ahead in the race, but certainly that is going through my mind to actually pick up both checkers. So that's good play, Anna. I mean, if you just hit the one, it gives too many chances for David to come in and hit you back. So I think this is solidifies your race lead that you've got with that double six start. And there's a 5-2, so that worked out quite well. Okay, 2-1 makes the 5. I think that's good. I mean, you can't, you don't really want to hit on the break your 18 point to hit. I mean, you can, but it just seems to leave a lot of numbers. It leaves good sixes even off the bar. I like the 5-point, so I think that's good. And it does leave ones and fives, but it does make your 5-point, and that's something that will be with you for a long time. So David does hit with the 1. Whether or not he tidies up or moves up, I think that's good play. Doesn't have to worry too much about that block on the 10-point. So again, and this is really good to see that Anna is stopping and thinking, despite being on the bar, just checking the position out, making sure it's a, you know, it's always good. Every roll is a cube opportunity. So a lot of people will focus on playing the game and forget about playing the cube. So it's good practice, and it's good to see that Anna is taking the time and looking at the position, looking at the rolls that can, there are some jokers there that would even lose the market for you potentially. Something like double 2, could potentially lose the market for you. Double 4 is another one that's very strong. So okay, I think that's a very aggressive cube at the score, but I like it. I like the fact that Anna is putting pressure on David. So, and double 3 is one of those rolls that could be if David doesn't perform here on the bar, should hit 2 and possibly you could even consider hitting 3. The other consideration is to make the bar and make a 4-point prime. So this again is not a straightforward. I like the hit. Now that you've sent the cube, I like the hit on the 4-point, and I would probably play it big and come down to the 10-point to give myself some cover options. The double hit, okay, that could well be right as well to have 3 on the bar. Certainly, double 3 was a great roll, and so David maybe in real difficulty here. Now he's rolled the 1, so that's a big help. Now he's only got 1 checker in. The only thing now is that Anna's only got 8 checkers in the zone, so she hasn't really got enough for a really strong attack. So you might want to look at structure and just tidying up some of these checkers. Maybe coming in on the 24 and playing 18 to 15 could be an option. I'm not sure about. Okay. Again, that stops things like. Oh, that was a bad roll for David. I was going to say it stops moves like double 3, causing real problems. 3-1. And again, this is one of the things with not having enough checkers in the zone. It just isn't enough material there to make any further points unless you roll perfectly. So Anna's going to point that towards the 4-point by coming down with the 3. Okay, so there's a little bit more material now if David doesn't come in with both checkers here. He does. He's on that 4. So there are 4 checkers pointing to that 4 point. So 6s, 4s, 2s, and 1s, and 5, 3 are the missing numbers there. So manages to miss everything. So best way to play this. Okay, this is not as straightforward as it looks. I mean, you can safely with the 5. You can play to the midpoint. You've got a strict midpoint there, so it's never good to have a strict midpoint. And of course, that just plays down then. Of course, so that's that was more obvious than I originally thought. Okay, 5 looks like 5-1. So now there's a few more checkers in the zone bearing down on that 21 point. David would love to make it. So he'd like to stay there to have a chance of making it. But of course, the downside is he gets a chance of being hit off there as well. The big play is to play 13 to 8 and 6 to 5 and duplicate the 2. And probably considering that. I mean, you could play 13 to 7, but that doesn't do a great deal. If you come out with the 5 from the 21 point, you're sort of leaving your back checkers a little bit stranded. It may be too big, but I'd be tempted to play 13 to 8 and 6 to 5. And duplicate the 2. It could really go wrong, but sometimes you do have to make big plays in order to try and balance the position again. So this is a tricky move, but I'd play to the 8 and the 5. That's what I'd do, and take a deep breath and hope that Anna doesn't roll something like 6-1, 6-2, 2-1. But at least you should make the 4 point rather than double hitting the 2, I think. Okay. This is one of those, I think Dirk Sheeman covers it in his book, when to hit 2 checkers and leave a blot and when to make the point. I would have made the point, but it's I wouldn't be surprised if it was correct to hit 2 checkers there. Okay, 2. So I think you can tidy up your checkers a little bit, yeah. I mean, that looks good. It does give David the opportunity to make a slightly more advanced anchor, but sometimes there's not much you can do. David is with a 3 or a 1, he's going to make the 21 point. With the 2, he'll probably make the 22 point here. So there's the 1, and looks like a 4 with it. So now he can play pure. He's got a double anchor. And double 6 is going to speed Anna's checkers up. So David's going to end up with a sort of a weird sort of 1 and 4 point back gain type thing. Certainly got the timing for it now after that double 6, I think. And the 1-4 is more of a holding game with an additional. It's like a 21 point holding game with a bit of extra structure, having that 24 point goalkeeper point. So 5-1, I think that is. If it is, then that will make the 9 point. Which is why I think it might not be 5-1. Oh, it is. I think Anna's. I think that would have made the 9 point, and there you are. Anna has seen it now, and there's your 6 prime. So David has to hope that he can preserve his position And numbers like 6-5 are not going to help, because that's going to speed up his crunching, if you like. So your options here are either to hit on the 2-point, which doesn't seem to do much good, but then where's your 5 now? Are you playing 13 to 8? Really is quite a tricky one, this. Okay. And you don't really want your checkers on your low points in these positions, but okay, 6-4 is not good because Anna can't move her back checker. So she'll just slot the to the 23, that's correct. And Dave will be hoping for smaller numbers this time. 6-1 is okay. No point hitting that checker. So you can slot the 5. Again, he's just wondering whether or not he's got enough timing if he doesn't get hit, whether he can play his existing checkers and keep his structure. So that's 2-1. Yeah, Anna could elect not to hit that one. Because that does give David another checker back, and he could make a different anchor. In fact, if that's 3-2, he could make the 22-point anchor now. I think I would rather do that. I'd rather have the 22-point than the 24-point. But these are always tricky. I mean, he doesn't want to hit that Anna's checker on the 23-point and send another checker back, because that just suits Anna then. She's got more timing to get round. He hasn't got enough blockage with just the 6, 7, and 8-point. So I think just making the 22-point just seems natural. Having a slightly better two-point anchor game. He's given it some thought, and wondering if he's considering hitting on from the 7 to 5. Yeah, I think that's the right play. Of course, he's hoping now that Anna rolls something like, double 6 again and really comes around. 5 will come out, and I think the 2 doesn't really, could just come into the 6. Give yourself an extra checker on the 6. Don't think it's a massive difference. It just looks, I like to have an extra checker on the 6-point if I can. Normally helps a bit better with your 5s. They double 1. Again, I wouldn't hit, I'd just make the 5-point. We can't move that back checker either because you don't want to hit. So I think just simply 7 to 5, make the point. I mean, he could play really. You could play 13 to 12, 6 to 5, 3 to 2, and get a lot more checkers sent back. But I don't think you're that desperate to have checkers. So that would be one for the crowd. Really open up the game and try and get about 8 checkers sent back. But then, of course, you could lose a backgammon and lose the match. So I don't think he's quite that desperate. So I just think the quiet play, make the 5-point, but again, it's good that he's taking a little bit of time. These are difficult. Okay, I think that is gonna. It's possible it could work out, but chances are that David, now with Anna to bring those 2 checkers round, and unless you roll something like a double 4 or something that's going to break the structure, then David's going to be first now to break his board and crunch his board. because Anna's just got that additional timing now. So I think hitting those two was an error, but these are difficult. Back games are tricky, and of course that you can see now David's timing is it's quite difficult now because Anna can still take her time bringing these other two checkers around. And by that time, David would have sacrificed or killed a lot of his checkers in his home board. So I think this is looking good for Anna. David's holding the cube as well. And now he's sort of trying to get checkers sent back. The problem still is that Anna's got that other checker to play around with. I mean, even if Anna hits here, which she may not do, may not elect to. That'd be a good play if she doesn't. I mean, even if you hit though, David's stuck behind that 6 prime. It just means that there's less checkers being buried. So I think this is good play by Anna not to hit. Let David break his board a little bit more. 5s are awful. Well, pretty much every number apart from 6 is poor. But there's the 5 which is forced. And now David's board is looking so I think 6 to 5 would have been better because it kills your 5s. And now a 5 you see is going to kill another checker. So there's one gone. And the culling will continue until Anna eventually okay. Now you don't want to hit. I mean, I would leave that one alone and just that one exactly. Well done, Anna. I think that's good play again because that check is going to end up either on the 2 or 1 point eventually. Any 3 or 4 is going to and there's is that checker on the 5 point that David's got is going to end up being buried as well. So again, do you want to hit it? Do you want to send another checker back? Or do you just want it to be end up in the dead pile? So I think Anna's playing this game very well. And he's looking to really put the squeeze on here because by the time she opens up her board, David's going to be down to possibly a 2 point board. Unless he keeps rolling numbers like 6-5, which is unlikely. So 5-2 could come into the 5 point. I think these are quite tricky, but okay. Well, David will probably keep his 3 point board by the time Anna gets it. Again, I think 8 to 5 would be that gives you 3s and 4s. You've got 5s from your 6 point. Yeah, these are all a bit difficult. Anna's probably looking to see how do my 6s play, how do my 5s play. Okay, good. And a lot of people will look to play what's called this trap play, but Anna doesn't need to do it. David's got 7 checkers stuck behind a 6 prime. So the gammons are pretty much nailed on unless she can gives a shot away. Okay, I think this plays you can clear the 11 point and then play double 5. I think you could have cleared the 11 point and played 7 to 2 and 6 to 1. That was one option. But okay, giving a 6 for David. Probably needs this just to try and salvage the gammon. Of course, he hasn't got a board, so it's not going to improve his chances of winning at the moment, but it's going to help him to get a few checkers around before Anna starts bearing off. 4-2 doesn't really do a lot, just comes down. And now Anna will hit with a 1. There's the 1. I think you should hit this time. Yeah, that's a good play. And 4-2 is unfortunate because David is down to a 2-point board now. So it really isn't working out for him. I think that double shot that David did probably led to some extent to this problem. But these back games are so difficult to do and to play correctly. Okay, it needs a 3 to get out. Another 2 is another dead checker, I'm afraid. Okay, can just leave the single shot. Yeah. Or rather a double shot, but leaving a single checker, I mean. So 4s and 5s will hit. 6-1 won't. There's a very good chance that Anna's going to leave another shot here, but there isn't really much of a board to be concerned about. That's the difficult part for David. If he gets the shot, is it going to do him any good? 5-1 just comes down, and Anna needs 3s, 4s to, I think, probably not a bad idea to just go for it now. Your 2 is forced anyway, so yeah. And that David's not even hitting with the 6. I mean, if you hit, it's a really difficult position for David now. So Anna's going to start bearing off now, and is very much favourite to win a gammon here, unless David can make a board like that. That's a good start, and B then gets maybe get some sort of shot towards the end. So 5-1 and 2 off looks better. Well played. The David will release another checker here if he can, which he just about can. And 6-4 brings another checker in. Okay, that's forced. So the 6 comes out. Now the question is, does the 5 come out as well? Probably not, because things like 6-3 would be really awful for Anna. Don't want to call it. 4-3 is okay. And he can't, if that's double 3, he can't move the checkers on the 22. And it really isn't going to kill every checker just to get that to. I think I would run off from the 21. I know it avoids your double chance of a double shot, but yeah, that's Anna's pointed out that needs to go back one, I believe, because otherwise you could make the 3-point. Yeah, that's it. So I think I'd run round from the 21. Just for lack of anything that's better to do. You know, I can see what David's thinking, that if Anna rolls something like 5-1 or 6-1, he gets the double shot rather than a single shot. But you are killing yet another checker, and you are wasting some of your pips to bring your checkers in. So a big roll for Anna, 2-1. Wow, that's a good roll actually. David will be desperate to try and save the gammon here. And 5, okay, makes the board. Could have considered the split, but I think, I mean, he still hasn't. But I think the only thing with that now is something like, maybe it's right. Where do you get the 2 shots from? Because that's just going to leave you the single shot anyway, technically. Okay, 5's needed. 3-1. Are they playing dice on checkers? No. Or are they? If they are, David's going to be very upset. And they are playing dice on checkers. So Anna is. Oh, okay. I think they may be just checking. I think that's immaterial. I think maybe they're checking to see if there was one extra checker on the 1 point. But I mean, unless Anna rolls double 1 or double 2, then she's nailed on to get a gammon pretty much here. With just 8 checkers to get off. And just to make sure, and there are some backgammon possibilities now. So if Anna has got 5 rolls to win the match here, so David will be taking a deep breath, and he did, and he can still save it with the 2-1. So fortunately, I say fortunately, but that does make the score 8-2. So Anna is running away with this at the moment. She's made some really aggressive cues, especially that score, you know, being ahead in the match. But it's worked out, and it's nice to see. Anna, I know she's been focusing on that, and it's nice to see that she is continuing to be aggressive with the cube and put the pressure on the opponent rather than just holding off and making it easy. So it's worked out for her so far this match. Of course, this next match is Crawford. So there will be no cube play. David is 7 away, which gives him approximately 9% or 9.5%, something like that, match winning chances. So a big favourite here, Anna. And the one thing I know Phil Simborg says this a lot is focus on, is a gammon for David critical in this situation? Well, David is 7 points behind. If he wins a gammon and wins 2 points, he'll be 5 points behind. So a gammon is not, I mean, he'll take it, but it's not as effective as if he was an even number of points behind. So David will be just trying to win a point, win a game, and Anna won't be as concerned about playing reasonably open enough, taking some element of risk, even if it means losing a gammon, because to her, losing a single game and losing a gammon is pretty much the same. And so she should play accordingly. Anyway, going back to the game now, Anna has rolled what looks like a 5-4. Okay, are we back at the start now? I'm not really sure. Okay, it's going to hit and come down. Oh, it was breaking off the anchor to hit. I see. So again, like I say, Anna can play a bit more open because of the gammons not being that valuable to David. So 4-3 comes in and hits. So there's a lot of blocks around here, and something like a double 5 is going to pick some of these blocks up. Another great roll for Anna. You can point on the 22, and I think that's the way to go. Although Anna doesn't need a gammon, the good thing about winning a gammon is you win the game anyway. So that's the match. So just looking at it, she can run around and hit that one as well. So again, it's good to see Anna taking time. I think making the 22 point is better, but it does break you. Okay, and there is that option as well. So 2 on the bar. David needs a 3 to bring some security to his position, and that is a nightmare roll, 6-1. So it really does open the door for Anna to really pile the pressure on now. So 6-1, I think I would really be. I'd hit on the 10 point. I wouldn't hit that one. I'd hit the one on the 10 point and play 8 to 7, and really that would really open up your opportunity to make your 4 or 5 points. Sort of done a hybrid of that, but you can see if you hit on the 10 point, you get that extra checker there as well. So a 4. So Anna's got a lot of material, even though they are blocks, they work as attackers. Is that another 6-1? So again, you can pick up another block. Ideally, you'd want to hit one of those. Okay, it's not a 1 then. Obviously, it's obviously a 6-2, I guess. Okay, David, you're going to have to perform here. You want this match to continue. That's a much better roll. Vanna's probably glad that she's made a little bit of structure now. Okay, double 5. Well, you can point on the 4 point. So I think Anna will see it eventually. You can come down and okay, hasn't quite. Maybe she will see this in a minute. She'll probably put that checker back and see it. Okay, David needs a 4 then. I think that was the one oversight that Anna's made that I'm not sure I agree with in this one. But again, when you get to the end, it's so much easier to sit at home and watch the game. And I think Anna's played really well up to now. She really put the pressure on, and has made the most of her cube decisions. So 6-2. So again, that makes a nice priming structure, but David with a 4 or a 5 will have a reasonable anchor. 2-1. He could just make the 20 point now. It's got sort of certain visions of last game. So you can make your 6 prime for a second and then you have to break it again. So probably don't see how it's double 2. I'm really struggling. It looked like a 2-1 to me. Okay, that looked like a good play. Okay, just makes the 5 point with the double 4, getting his home board ready. At least this time Anna will be breaking at a much earlier time while David's still got structure. Yeah, 6-5 is not ideal. The 6 is. I don't think you can play that one, Anna. You can play that one, but then you're going to leave a double shot. I think your first thoughts were right. Okay. At least the 3s and the 5s are duplicated. Okay, so can you tidy that one up? You can. That's a great roll. Comes in, tidies up. Still retaining a 5 point prime. Sixes are not great for David because he doesn't want to run off the front. He needs to roll the 2 first. 6-1. So okay, well, David can come out with a 5 now as well as roll a 2 to step up. 6-4 again. It's not a good number. Really is poor. And that's basically a dead checker now on that 2 point, even if he uses one to cover the 1. So that was unfortunate for David. Really not rolling particularly well in these positions. So 2-1. Why don't you just slot the 3? Could be an option. But Anna's given David a 5, which he will gladly take, especially as he doesn't have to break his anchor. And the 1 means that David's 2 checkers on the 2 point now aren't necessarily dead because double 1 can mean they can be used to make the 1 point now. 4-2, just go to the 13. Anna needs a 6 or at least a 2 and a 3 to step up. 4-1. Not the best. It could kill a checker. David's got a 3-point board, so it's not to be sniffed at if he gets a shot. Okay, 3-2s are not good. Decided to slot, nothing wrong with that, I guess. And it gets the laser sights on again, hits, plays the 1 safe. All right, David, 3, 4 or 5 needed. Take your pick. I think that's just going to come out to the 8 to Anna's 8 points. Okay. It looks to keep it on the 20 point, an extra checker. 6-1. That should just run out. No need for anything spectacular there. I mean, you still have to clear those 2 points outside the home board, but that hits. So that extra checker on the 20 point came in useful now because he keeps his anchor. And double 1. Good. Okay. Seemed right. A 4 would be useful for David. And there it is. Now Anna needs a 2 or a 3 as well as a 6, and she hasn't got it. And that's going to give David an opportunity to send a second checker back now. I think you're going to have to do your 4 is pretty much that anyway. I mean, you can play 6-2, but then you haven't got a 6. So I will work out. This is pretty much forced. Yeah. So a 4 would be huge for David here to send that second checker back. That's the wrong 4. Yeah, now do you cover or do you come out? I think you come out. If you cover, you've got to kill another checker anyway. I think you should come out. Well done, Anna. Good play. So David really needs a 4 now. And this time he did roll the right combination of the 4. 3-1. Okay, come in on the 4, go up. That's it. Good play. So with 2 checkers back, does give David some chance of keeping in the game here and keeping Anna at bay. Okay, she might as well 2-1. Okay, nothing wrong there, I don't think. Five, 2. Okay. Well, David can run. I think he could anchor. This is tricky again. You could use you'd have to break your 22 point. That's the only problem. But you can make the 16 point, which is 5 away from those 2 checkers of Anna. And they could be a real nuisance. This is the alternative. But now Anna can break that 14 point without leaving a direct shot. 5-1's not going to do it. So you can either break your 7 or you can play 6-1, 2-1. I think breaking the 7's probably correct, but it does take away another landing spot. So 5-3, you could slot the 4 and come into the 5. I don't know if you want to break those 2 points. Again, that's good. That's good because that makes a 0.6 away. That's a good spot. Well done, David. So it keeps the pressure on Anna. And he did it just in time because there's a double 6. So great timing. So now David would like to strengthen his board a little bit more. I don't think you need to make the 20 point with the 2. I mean, it does give Anna a few pick and passes, but then it does allow her to play behind. So the 6-2, yeah, getting ready to make the 4 point or maybe the 1 point even. 6-5 is forced. And now a big roll for David, needs a 3 or something like 4-6 or 5-6. And he's managed to miss everything. So the 1 and 6-1 is forced. Anna can't pick that blot up. So David gets another opportunity. And he manages not to get that this time. Probably should have made the 4, but well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Anna is going to be bearing off to win this championship. And David really hasn't had the best of roles when he's needed the big roles. Not to take anything away from Anna, who I think has played extremely well and has queued very efficiently and very aggressively and really put some pressure on David. So she leaves herself a 6-1 or 5-1, 4 shots. And here we go. If Anna doesn't roll 6-1 or 5-1, I think I'll be shaking hands. And there you go. Well done, Anna, who wins the London Championship. Commiserations to David. He suffered with his dice, especially when he needed it. And thank you to Julia for giving me the opportunity to commentate all the way from Cape Town.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you ever so much, Jeff. Glad it was a really good match to watch. And as finishing off a fantastic season now with the women's championship, the Worcester consolation, and now London tournament players. So she's had a fantastic time. Thank you for joining us, Jeff. Much appreciated. And hopefully doing some more live broadcasts soon.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jay. I enjoy it actually. Yeah, I had a little bit of difficulty. I'm not sure if I've got my screen set up properly, but I had a bit of difficulty seeing the dice on my laptop. And
Yeah.
of course, it's difficult to commentate when you're not quite sure what the role is until they start moving checkers. But yeah, it was enjoyable. It's good to see that Anna really is starting to get a lot more confident and aggressive with that cube. And I'll be interested to see the PRs if somebody's put this on
Yes.
XG.
I'm transcribing all Anna's matches we have over the course of this weekend, so I'll do this one as well. It's worth pointing out Anna's been chasing the A2 female status for some time now. She's making really rapid progress. So delighted to see that.
Yeah, the thing with Anna, she's still got that appetite. You know, she's always keen to play. I mean, I've given Anna, 2 or 3 practice sessions, and she's all ears. She's really keen, very enthusiastic. She listens to everything you say, and you can see that willingness to increase the learning on the game is still there, even despite the fact that Anna's been playing for a while, and that's great to see. And she's still setting targets, Julia, and I think she'll get them as well the way she's performing.
Right. I think the crowds are gathering for a presentation.
Okay.
So we'll head off. Thank you very much for your time, and see you on a future one.
Thanks, Julia. Enjoy it. Keep yourself warm over there in the UK. I'll be joining
Will
you.
do.
All right. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Bye for now. Bye.